Now, before we talk about anything else, the most important thing to know, to observe and interpret correctly, starts from inside and then work its way out. What does that mean? It starts with a fundamental question: who am I? What is my place in this universe? Is this just all an illusion? Is it Maya, right? That's what they call Maya. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. Am I out of my mind? Is it a hallucination? Who am I? What the heck am I doing here? What's it got to do with me and the environment and my work? And what is my place? Identity. What is my identity? That's the first and most important, observation we have to do. After that, from there, we know how to act accordingly. All right? Because once you understand who the I is, then you get to understand, ready? What or who is the not I. Okay? So in the Buddhist tradition, this is what they do. You see, it says observer, and what's observed? Okay, look at your body. Arms, legs, and everything. Okay, you're looking, right? What are you doing? I'm observing my body. What's being observed? My body. Who is observing it? I am. So the observer is observing something. Got it? So the something could not be the observer. Okay, next. Move your arm. What are you doing? I am moving my arm. What's being moved? My arm. What or who initiated that movement? I did. Yeah? So I'm observing that I'm moving my arm, or I willed to move my arm. Feel an emotion, any emotion you like. Happiness, joy, love, anger, resentment, piss off, whatever. Okay? What are you doing? I am feeling these emotions. So what's being felt? These emotions, these something. Who is the one who triggered or initiated? I did. So I felt these emotions. So I created these emotions. You know what's next? I'm thinking of lunch. What am I doing? I am thinking of lunch. So the I initiated a process through this machine of some sort to created this thought, and the content of that thought is lunch. Okay, now, if that's the case, who is the mover of the body? Who is the feeler of the feelings? Who is the thinker of the thoughts? The answer is I. So I move my body, I created the feelings, I created the thoughts. Yes? So in the Buddhist tradition, if I remember correctly, the way he explained this, at that time, the Lord Buddha, the language was, I think, Magadhi or Pali. Okay? Anyway, in Sanskrit, they have this word called anatma. Anatma means not the soul. Atma is soul. So, over the years, for some reason, things got lost in translation and became no soul. But what it is they're looking at the body, they're observing. Remember? Observers looking at the body. Oh, I'm observing the body. So the body that's being observed is not the I, not the soul. Because the observer cannot be what's being observed. Make sense? And they start noticing the emotions. Okay. I'm observing the emotions. So therefore, the emotions are anatma, not the I. And they start observing, I created happiness, I created image of an apple, I thought of lunch, I thought of car. Well, they didn't have cars then. I thought of whatever, whatever you think of. I thought of something. So this is what's created. I'm the creator of that thought. So therefore, I cannot be that. If I'm the soul, this is not the soul. Make sense? So in other words, the secret to all this is as simple as this. you have to first differentiate what is the not I and what is the I. Now, watch. When you say something is not I, there are two things happening. You are affirming that there's this so-called stuff that is the not I. Yeah? Obvious. The more important one is you also have to acknowledge that there's someone who is regarding this as the not I. You got that? I am not this iPod. So, that is not I. But who is saying that? Who's saying this is not I? So you have to acknowledge there's the I and the not I simultaneously. Now, another way to look at it, it's very mental, right? I hope you guys are okay, huh? Another way to understand is like this. The fact that you say, okay, I'm feeling happiness, I'm feeling anger, I'm feeling joy, I'm thinking of an apple, thinking of a car, right? So you're thinking about something, you're feeling something. It's obvious these thoughts and emotions are not the I, because before these thoughts and emotions were created, you were already there. The I existed before this. So therefore, these could not be the I. The creator of these thoughts and emotions, these products, existed before these came into existence. Mind blown? Get the idea? He said, well, big deal, so what? Well, it's as simple as this. If you can create anger and resentment because of a certain external stimulus, can you choose to shift and create peace, love, and happiness instead? That is the meaning of empowerment. The ability to choose. You get the idea? The problem comes when people have wrong viewpoint. The wrong viewpoint is this stuff that's happening is I. It's great when things are good. Yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling this joy and happiness. When things are not always good, which you already know, it's a cycle, right? We talk about law of changes, law of cycles. Then when they're down at the bottom, when things are not going their way, they identify the I as this negative circumstance. So guess what? They're swimming in misery. So the secret to true happiness is the ability to withdraw and know who the I really am or is. From there, see that these thoughts and emotions are everything I just simply created. Now, so there's this healer. He's a great guy, a very nice guy. And the way he healed was like this. And somebody had a phobia, or somebody had anger, was abused as a child. And there's different cases that they worked on. And I was listening, and the way they did it is like this. They go, okay, you know, this anger, this pain, resentment, whatever you have. If you were to give it a color, what would it be? A person would say, oh, it's red, okay? If you had a texture, if you give it, what would it be? Oh, it's rough, and this. If you could smell it, what would it be? And the person starts answering this series, this, and this. And then he did through this process, he asked the person, okay, how do you feel now? Oh, it doesn't bother me anymore. Okay, how does that feel to you now? Oh, instead of red, it changed to purple. It is, okay. Interesting. So I'm sitting and watching this, and don't get me wrong, it helped a lot of people. But since you guys are very advanced, let's get to the essence of it. See, what happens is this: when that person that that the healer was doing it on was feeling this anger, this pain, this feeling of abuse and frustration and whatever else, that person was owning the problem. In other words, they identified the I as all these things. I think you're getting it. The fact that they can now say, okay, it is anger, what does it look like? What does it feel like? They separated the observer with the observed. When that happens, it loses its power over the I. Haven't you noticed? It's easier to give advice to someone than give it to yourself. You notice that? Because when you're giving it to someone, you're observing it from a distance. You're looking at it objectively, yeah? And you're going to say, come on, dummy, it's so simple. This, for this, don't do that. That's bad. But if you do, well, I can't help myself. Because you're what? But this is very, very important, because once you have right viewpoint, everything goes smoothly. Okay, I'll just put in proper perspective. You notice when something happens, I just make something up. Let's say somebody calls you. Oh, by the way, come home right away. Something's happening, blah, 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 and they hang up. How do you feel? What's going on? You keep calling, trying to figure it out, right? Because you don't know what's going on. So there's a tendency to panic, to think of the worst things, right? Once you get a hold of someone, no, because the pipe broke and then the water's everywhere. Anyway, I called the plumber and everything's fine, whatever. Or even if the plumber's not there yet or it's not fine yet, somehow, once you understand what's going on and you see it clearly and you see a path of how things fix, what happens? You calm down. Because now you have right viewpoint. You're able to interpret what's going on.